and I'm back home from Morrison's, so I'm just quickly doing the dog. Dog's waiting for his food, so I'm gonna do the food. One second. I'll show you my outfit in a moment properly. Just making some space. I hope it doesn't cut off. I'm just gonna go get the dog's food. Oh. I thought I'd done this. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Hey, I've got a 1 like already. Hi, whoever you are. Oh, go away, go away. Beam. I'm just trying out some filters. That's a nice filter. I like that one. Okay, I don't know if anybody else sees, but I'm going to show you my outfit real quick. So this is what I wore to Morrison's today. Get my stupid hair out of the way. Stupid hair is in the way still. Jacket with a hood, but I didn't wear the jacket. I just wore this top and this skirt, and I wore different boots because I can't really walk in high heels for very long. I just put them on, especially for the video, the live stream. Sorry, the table's a mess. The Christmas table's a mess. So we're having our New Year's Day, full dinner, Christmas dinner type thing. We're doing it on Friday now because there was a screw up with the what's the order, the Sainsbury's order. Even though I order certain things, they don't come. And it's not one of those things where they say, oh yes, we don't have it in, so we've given you a substitute or we've just refunded you or anything. It's not the case of that. It's where I do order it and they don't say whether it's in or not. It just doesn't come and it's not on the list, but I know I definitely ordered it. So I ordered a Quorn roast because, we're vegetarians in this house, so we get the Quorn. I mean, I do eat meat, but I'm sort of a part-time meat eater and part-time vegetarian, if you know what I mean. It just means I don't eat meat for every meal and every day. I just have meat occasionally, like when I go out for a treat or something. So as you know, I was gonna have the chicken and chips today, but they didn't have the chickens because I came too late. So they said I'd have to wait another 45 minutes to have it, but I didn't have that long because that's how long I was supposed to be out for, if that makes sense. I was supposed to only be out for about an hour because I can't leave my mum alone too long, so I just wanted to quickly eat, do the shopping, come home. So I was about an hour and a half out, so yeah. So I went out at about 3:30 and I came home at like 5 o'clock-ish. So that sucks. I just got a Tinder message. Go away. Bob messaged you about your something. Okay. So, I have something to talk about. I've just thought of it for you guys now. There's a couple of things I want to mention in this video. I'm going to try and make it not a very long live stream. Like sometimes it's really long. So the first thing is, so I've been on Tinder. I've been chatting to this guy. He's a bit older than me, and I say a bit now. He's like in his 30s. But not like late 30s or anything. Anyway, so I want your guys' opinion. I know like not many people are watching this right now. It's just like one person. I don't even know if they're really watching because like nobody's saying anything. Oh, hi. Somebody has said hi actually. Oh, what's going on? I don't know what happened then. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's froze. Please stop doing that. Okay, so I want your guys' opinion on something. Okay, so I've been talking to this guy on Tinder, and he, I don't know, I can't remember what I was gonna say about him, but he seemed to have found my social medias. I don't know how he found them, because I've not linked them in my thing, my description thing, my profile thing on Tinder, but he managed to find them anyway. Like, just obviously using my first name, because I only have my first name on there, but I don't have my Instagram linked, but he somehow found my Instagram somehow, even though it didn't have my full name on it. And he found my Facebook from there, and he kept wanting to meet up with me, like, so soon. Like, we just met yesterday, and he already wants to meet up. He wanted to meet up yesterday, like, right there and then. He said, like, drop everything and, you know, meet me that day. So I told him about my situation. I said I can't just drop everything and go and meet him. I hope you like my rings, by the way. I got them for Christmas. That one was for my mum. That one was for my dad. Actually, that was my birthday, my 13th birthday. And that was for a recent Christmas, like maybe 4 years ago or something. Anyway, so I told him about my situation. I said I have a quite different, unique situation that I'm in. I can't just meet up with people willy-nilly. I said, and it was just like, I didn't give any details. And he said, oh, I'm intrigued. And I went, you won't like it. You won't like it, because other blokes haven't liked it, you know. Because they all want to get me to their freaking houses or some shit. So I said that, and he said, you know, whatever he says, I'm sure we can work it out. So I told him about that I'm a carer for my mum, and I can't just meet up with him, like, I have to be with her. And he was like, oh, that's okay, you know, I'm sure we can work around that and blah, 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 which is great, you know. That's what I think that men should do. I think they should be understanding about my situation, because it's not impossible for me to date or have a boyfriend or see them with my situation. It's just that they have to be a bit more patient and understanding and realise I can't just meet them every single day like other people can. They can just go off to wherever they want because, you know, they've got their own car or they've got their own place, or they, you know, they can just go off here, there and everywhere whenever they want to. So they've got to realise I'm not that sort of person. I can't just go off here, there and everywhere whenever I want to. But I would be able to still meet them. But they have to be patient. They have to be okay with getting to know my mum, and for my mum to get to know them, and, you know, for her to trust them as well, so they can say, come here, or for my mum to trust them enough for me to go and meet them, or for them to be okay with meeting my mum. They're the ways we can meet, you know, like I can meet up with them, but they have to be okay with meeting my mum, at least for the first few times. I remember one guy was okay with it, but then the second time we arranged to meet up, and he was surprised that my mum was there again. He wasn't okay with the fact that my mum was there again, like the second time. But I already told him that at least the first few times we'd be meeting up with my mum, so that I can build up a trust with them, and my mum can trust them as well and stuff like that, because obviously not only is my situation the way it is, but, you know, I also want to be safe still, and my mum's kind of my chaperone to make sure everything's okay. So they've got to understand that, you know, it is what it is and stuff, and they've just got to be okay with that. But they don't. How do I get out of this? Did I enjoy all the hot chocolate? I did. I want more today. How do I get rid of this thing? Oh, there we go. I got rid of it. Why does it keep doing that? It keeps freezing. Is it the tinsel? They've got to be okay with that. So this guy said it would be okay. Sit down. He said, do you have any free time at all? And I said, well, yeah, I do have. I am able to sort of go out sometimes. Okay. But just for like a short amount of time. It wouldn't be like for hours and hours. It would probably be like between half an hour and an hour. And I'm sure my mum would be sort of okay with me being with them for longer if she really trusted them, and, you know, because she is actually a very flexible person, considering she's disabled and considering she's always going on about how I'm supposed to be with her like 24/7. But she's actually very understanding, and if, say, I really liked a guy and she trusted them and she liked them and she knew I liked them a lot and stuff like that, I'm sure she would make exceptions for them and stuff like that, you know. It's just that my mum couldn't try and be too ambitious while I'm away. She'd have to just sit down. And if she did have to move around, she'd have to just stick to sort of the kitchen and not go sort of outside like she did. That's how she got her broken hip, because she decided to go out into that room over there, the boiler room, which is sort of like an out. thing, an out thing, you know what I mean? It's like a room that's outside. You have to go outside to go into it, the boiler room, which has an uneven ground. Not like it slopes, but it's like an uneven ground as in it has like concrete that goes up like that where slabs go up. And that's how she, you know, fell. Her feet got caught in this thing that went up like that, in this bit here, and she went falling. But it was her fault because she decided to go out there without me. The plan was she was supposed to wait for me, because I went upstairs to wrap presents on Christmas Eve, and she decided to go and out there on her own. But she was supposed to wait for me to do that. But she wanted to do a nice thing for me, so she went out there. Because she wanted to find this that singing book thing that's over there, because I was asking about that singing book. So she went out there to go find that singing book for me, and that's how she ended up falling, because she went out there to do that for me. It was very nice of her. So she actually hurt herself trying to do something nice for me. So that was kind of nice, but it kind of ruined Christmas for her. They didn't ruin Christmas for me too much, as in I still got to sort of do the usual, have a Christmas dinner and open presents, and my dad still came and whatnot, but it ruined Christmas for her, obviously, because she, you know, had to be in hospital. So that's why we're having our Christmas now. So I know you guys are probably thinking, why are you having Christmas? It's January, and nearly the end of January. But the reason being is because, you know, she spent all of Christmas in hospital and New Year as well. So normally we'd be having a Christmas Day meal, of a Christmas dinner, and then on New Year's Day we'd have another Christmas dinner, or we would call it a New Year's dinner. So we've had our Christmas dinner last Monday. We were supposed to be having the Christmas dinner yesterday, but like I say, there was a cock up. We didn't have the corn roast didn't come, and you know, I didn't know sausages, which by the way, I've still not got any sausages. I've just realised I didn't get the sausages. Oh, crap. That's why I went to Morrison's today to get the sausages and all the other stuff we need. So we don't have the sausages. Still don't have the sausages, even though I've just gone to the shop. So I'm really pissed off about that. I've just realised I didn't get the sausages. So we've got no sausages. So I guess my mum's going to be pissed off with me again, because obviously she was pissed off when I screwed up, because we had 2 orders. We had one on the Saturday and one on the Monday. The first time I did order the corn roast, but it didn't come for some reason. And then on the Monday, I meant to amend the order, because the roast didn't come on Saturday. I meant to amend the order so it would come on the Monday with the Ocado shop. But I forgot to amend the order, and it was too late, because the cut-off time is about 5 o'clock, and I got busy and forgot. So Morrison's today was my last chance, but I forgot again to get the the Linda McCartney sausages, which by the way we stopped getting because they contain palm oil, so we stopped getting those. They're vegetarian sausages, but they're really nice. But I didn't get them, so my mum's going to be pissed off with me again, like she was when I told her about the fact that I forgot the corn roast and the sausages the first time. So we got everything else but the sausages. And there's nowhere, I can't go anywhere now to get them. There's nowhere I can get them around here. Co-op that's just down the road used to do the Linda McCartney sausages, but they've stopped doing them now, so I'm pretty much screwed. But I'm going to get my prescription tomorrow, so I'm going to see if my dad will just drive me to Asda, which is just down the road. So I've got one more chance. I'm going to see if my dad will take me to Asda. So anyway, so back to the story at hand. So I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on whether that guy sounds like he's creepy, because he was really enthusiastic about meeting with me, and he, you know, I don't know who to trust and who not to, so I'm not sure, because, you know, it's best to get somebody else's sort of opinion. I'm going to get my mum's next. I'm going to tell her about this guy, and I'm going to tell her about the conversation and see if she... Because I go by if things feel right or not, and this guy kind of feels just a little bit creepy, because he's way too enthusiastic and he's way too eager to meet. And he'd found all my social media with very little information. So just to caution him, I said to him, my dad's gonna send a bodyguard if I meet him. And I told him that my dad's a mafia boss, so to caution him a little. I did ask him, before I said that, I asked him, how the hell did you find my Instagram? Because it's not linked in my thing. And he never answered me, so that's also something that concerns me a little bit, is that he's found my Instagram. But maybe he just typed in Kirsty in Instagram and maybe it came up with my name, I don't know. Do you think you guys could do me a favour? Because I can't do it, because obviously it's going to come up with my name. So if I search for it, because I am her, so it'll probably come up with my name. So if you guys who don't already have me on Instagram, do you think you could search for just Kirsty? Just type in Kirsty with an IE, if you can be bothered doing that. And just let me know what it comes up with, because I'd really like to know if it came up with me. You might have started typing the name Kirsty in and it came up with me. I mean, there are a few Kirstys out there, but maybe I'm one of them. That it came up with. So please just type Kirsty in Instagram. You might have just, thought, oh, I wonder if she's on Instagram. Just type Kirsty in. You never know. And then she got my full name from there and then typed it into Facebook. Because like I say, he's not answering me, so. He asked me who my dad was, but I didn't give him my dad's name. I don't think, if he started searching for my dad, I don't think my dad would appreciate it. If this guy just, I don't know how far we go, he might start contacting my dad. Trying to get to him, if that makes sense. Trying to be friendly with him and just like... I don't want all these random guys start contacting my dad because, he will be all like, what's going on? Why are you talking to all these weirdos online? Because my dad's the kind of person who would not approve of me talking to people online, let alone doing it on a dating website and meeting up with all these random guys online. Because I've mentioned it before and he sort of said, oh no, you shouldn't talk to people online, they're all weird. Actually, believe it or not, the people I've met online are actually normal and okay. It's the people I've met in real life that have been weird. Somebody told me, when we were talking about dating, somebody told me that instead of waiting for blokes to approach me, that I should maybe approach blokes and ask them out. Even though my mum has told me that makes me seem desperate. That would make a woman seem desperate if she asked a guy out or something. Or like I'm up for sex or some shit. So she advised me not to. But somebody else advised me to do it. A few men said that they would like to actually be asked out by women for once and that women should make an effort and all this shit. So I was kind of encouraged to try it. My granny Isabel said the same thing. She said, you should try asking guys out. If you like a guy, you should ask them out, that sort of thing. So, at this one time, like a couple of years ago, I tried asking guys out when I met them in real life, when I was out and about. It was really hard to get it into the conversation because most of these guys that I liked, I wasn't already talking to them. So I'd have to just approach them and just randomly say, would you like my number? And it's it seemed a bit awkward. So what I did, if I was dealing with a guy in a shop and I liked them, I would just say, here's my number, like a weirdo. It's better to get talking to them first and see if you get along first and then let the conversation flow to about getting in touch with each other. But I could never do that. I didn't really speak to guys that often, even when I was out and about. Because normally they just deal with you and then that was it. But I did manage to do it a couple of times. there was a guy called Josh Rosterin, which was in Ashton. He was at the key shop, you know, the key slash the people who deal with shoes. What are they called? Cobblers. He was like one of those cyber people. And then there was a guy upstairs in Wilco's called Chris. So I got talking to them both, and I asked them out, not at the same time, but you know, Josh Rosterin was the one I really wanted to be with because he was just my type. He was really fat and he was hot and whatever. He was so huge. I loved him. But yes, like I gave him my number and we started talking, and he was just a freaking pervert. It was actually okay until I mentioned I like fat people, fat guys, and then he changed and he started acting all more sexual. He started talking more sexual with me. So I probably gave him the impression that I was willing to sleep with him because he was fat and I was into fat people, whereas before he was probably more humble, thinking, oh, she can't possibly want to have sex with me because I'm fat or something, I don't know. So he's probably a bit more like grateful before, but then when I actually said I was into fat people, then suddenly it's like, oh well, she's up for it. So then suddenly he started going on about me going to his place, and he started talking about porn, like asking me if I watched porn, or mentioning that he watched porn, or you know, that sort of thing. He started talking sexual with me, and then he was all like, oh, you know, I got the place to myself because my dad's going on holiday. Would you like to spend the weekend with me? And then he kept sort of saying, because I said I wanted to see his belly, because, oh my god, he was huge. It must have been so sexy. But when I asked him, he said, oh, I'm not going to show you my belly, but, you know, you'll get to see it when we have sex. So he was, like, assuming already that I was going to have sex with him. Like, because he didn't say if we have sex, he went when we have sex. And, like, that's a bit presumptuous of you. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, I would love to have sex with him. He was huge, but no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to make a bloke work for it. You know, you got to work for it. You've got to get to know me. You've got to let me get to know you. You've got to treat me right first. I'm not just going to sleep with you. Like, just like that. I'm not going to come to your place. I know women are all like that these days, but I'm different. I'm not like that. I know women are all willing to sleep with men now on the first date and shit, or on the third date, or whatever the fuck it is with people. But I'm not like that. I'm going to be making you work for it. My mum always said that if a guy really likes you, they will take the time to get to know you and woo you and, you know, build trust and everything like that. And I'd rather sleep with someone who I really like. My mum would rather me wait until I'm married before having sex, but I don't think any guy is willing to wait that long. I mean, poor Cliff Richard, he's still waiting. He's in his 60s, and I'm not prepared to wait that long, but he's still not found anybody. And if I end up having sex with someone if I end up not having sex with anyone by the time I'm 60, then it won't be happening because, you know, ew. I won't be showing my body to anyone when I'm 60. Unless I look absolutely fabulous by then. You never know, I might look awesome. I might still look young when I'm 60. You never know. But, yeah, so there was him. I assumed I was going to have sex with him. And at first he was, like I say before that, he was okay. He seemed to be okay with meeting up with me, like in Ashton. Or somewhere local-ish to where he works, because he works in Ashton, so I don't really give a shit that I'm giving you all his real name, because he's like I say, he's an asshole, so I don't care. You could go pester him if you want to. I don't really encourage you to do that, but I don't really give a shit whether you do or not, because he's just a creep. I warned his co-workers and his boss what he did, and of course they stuck up for him, of course. I told them I was involved with him briefly, and he assumed I was going to have sex with him, and he tried to lure me to his place. And the other one, the Chris guy, he was even worse. I mean, he tried to convince, he asked me, he said he can, first of all, he asked me to his place to sort of have dinner and watch a movie and talk and stuff and get to know each other. But then he said, and you can spend the night if you want to. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna be doing that. My mum told me never to go to a virtual stranger's house alone, so unless I really know them, like really well, for a long time. And my mum's a very good judge of character, so I would never do anything alone with anyone unless she approved it, because she is a really great. She is a really great judge of character, and she can tell if there's something wrong with them. Like proper wrong with them, not the usual judgmental mother who thinks there's something wrong, like the slightest stupid thing is wrong. I'm talking about like she can sense if there's something wrong with people, like they are evil, they are a murderer, or they are just like a really horrible person in some way. She knows. So I wouldn't. They have to get through my mum first, because she's a really good judge of character, and I wouldn't do anything without her opinion on it and her advice. So I don't know what I'm gonna do when she's gone, because my judge of character and shit is crap. I mean, I do have it, really. I can sense still when there's something wrong with someone, but I just tend to ignore it, so I kind of like to have a second opinion, and my mum's is word. You know, hers is the best. Hers, like, yeah. So I don't know whether there's anyone else I can trust to give me that sort of advice that has, like, genuine good advice. Like my dad's advice, I would never really take too much, because you know, he will tell you stuff to steer you wrong. You know, he's that kind of person that will tell you something for his own ends, you know. He will just be like... like, he gave my mum bad advice once because it was to do with something that he wanted to buy off her. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. So my dad's advice would not be very, very honest, but my mum's is always honest, and she's always right. Like, literally, she's always right. If she has a bad feeling about someone, even if it doesn't come up straight away, eventually it comes out, whatever it is, that she is, you know, worried about them. Like she says, I don't like that person. I don't know why, but I don't like that person. And then eventually it comes out, like, why she didn't like them. Well, there'll be a reason why she didn't like them, even if she doesn't know it yet. Like, I'll tell you some people she didn't like, famous people. Okay, she doesn't like Cheryl Cole. She doesn't like freaking shirt lifter, as my dad calls her. Scherzinger. Oh, I've forgotten her. Nicole Scherzinger. She doesn't like, I can't remember the name. 1 second. Somebody else. For obviously reasons, she doesn't like Brad Pitt, and she doesn't like his freaking shit-face whore wife, or whatever she's supposed to be. Shit-face whore wife. Fucking Lara Croft person. Lara Croft person. I've forgotten her real name. I can't think of anything right now. I really need some brain food or some shit. I'm gonna get that macaroon, don't worry. The person that recommended macaroon on my live streams once, he's not really on. He doesn't talk to me anymore, I don't know why. He's just disappeared. Sam Poole, he's disappeared. But he recommended macaroon, and he said that makes your bum bigger and your hips bigger. It also does a bunch of other stuff, like it improves your memory and your brain, your whole function. It improves your sex drive, makes you like horny all the time. It makes you, gives you more energy. So it's kind of like caffeine. It makes you feel wonderful, and it enhances your mood. So I was convinced when I heard all the rave reviews and stuff, but then I watched a video, and the same thing, it recommended it for all these reasons I've just mentioned. But it also says it grows your boobs bigger as well, which I don't want, so I'm kind of not happy about taking it now. Because I don't need bigger boobs, I've already got humongous ones, so I don't really need them any bigger. I just need my ass and hips and thighs to grow. Which it does promise that. It does promise that. I might still consider it, because it would really be worth it if I get the hourglass shape of my dreams, so... As long as it doesn't make this shit any bigger, I'm okay. I don't know. Some people says it doesn't work at all. So I don't know. It might not do anything. But anyway, let's see the other things. Some people have said something. Are you talking about Taurine? Taurine. Angelina Jolie, that's the one. Thank you. I'd go out with you for sure. I live in the States, but was born in the UK. It depends what you look like. I'm very picky. By the way, if you guys want to date me, I just want to I just want to warn you that I'm very picky in the way that I, the guy has to be comfortable and on his feet, you know, not starting out, not poor, not a shelf stacker. It's not me being superficial or anything or whatever, you know, it's just me because I've always wanted to get out of sort of poverty. So, and my mum's been in poverty, and we've been in poverty growing up, and it's not fun, not being able to buy stuff and being in dire straits and stuff. So I kind of want to be secure for life and have a guy that can buy me nice things like clothes. Don't worry, you don't have to buy me jewelry and shit. You don't, or stupid shit or anything like that. I just require a nice house, the kind of alternative fashion that I like, which is very expensive, and I kind of want it so that I could stay home. Like they could work and I could stay home because I want to pursue my art and shit. So I need to be home to do that. So I don't want to be on the breadline. So I would like to have a nice life, but I also need to be with someone who is sort of like me. Like we have a lot in common. Like I know they always say opposites attract. They might initially attract, but it can put a strain on the relationship with lots of arguments if there's too many differences of opinions and they have nothing in common, like they don't like the same things or whatever. So it'd be nice to have someone who is into alternative clothes so we could both go out dressed like weird together instead of just me dressed weird and them dressed normal. So it'd be nice if I could find someone who will be dressing weird like me, or at least someone who's open-minded that wouldn't mind dressing like that, like gothic or just alternative clothes. Or a furry would be okay, or again someone who's open-minded and I could convert them to being a furry, or at least dressing like a furry and being like furry when they're around me. So a furry, someone who's like dresses alternatively, someone who's really kind and considerate and lovely and sweet, but also kind of like would give good advice and who wouldn't steer me wrong. Someone who's quite responsible. I don't want a big kid that's just going to be daft all the time and just going to be immature. Obviously I want them with a playful side. I still want someone who's got that little bit of daftness in them and doesn't mind being just a bit silly sometimes and just playing games and shit. That would be fun. Somebody preferably who's into mafia stuff like I am. Everybody's into, unfortunately, I'm in the wrong era. All the guys nowadays are into fucking Star Wars and shit and all that geeky stuff. So all that sci-fi stuff and superheroes and shit. So yeah, that's where we will differ, my friend. I'm not one of those desirable girls who everybody wants, who plays video games and shit. I'm very old-fashioned. I'm not into all that stuff. I'm so sorry to disappoint everyone. I'm not into any particular franchise. I just like my own shit, really. I'm just into like all different sorts of shit, really. You know, I prefer my own characters and my own franchise that I'm starting. You know, my characters like Don Lino and Jeremiah and stuff like that, and all those characters. You know, they're all my favorite characters. I don't really like characters from franchises. I don't have a favorite franchise, or I'm not a fan of anything in particular. I do like stuff like I like Disney and I like My Little Pony and I like furry stuff, and I would go to sci-fi conventions actually because you can dress up, and a lot of people do dress as furries to go to, or in like other cosplay to go to sci-fi conventions. So I would probably, if you like sci-fi stuff and went to sci-fi conventions, I would go with you. I definitely would. All sorts of conventions, you know, comic book conventions and sci-fi, because people do dress up to these things, and I think it's something I would enjoy even if I'm not into that particular thing. I do like this sort of thing. I would go to furry conventions and Lolita conventions and meets and stuff like that. I would love to go to stuff like that, and music festivals, because somebody told me, I think it's Richard, told me that there's lots of like fat guys with their shirts off at these festivals, these music festivals. So I'll definitely be in heaven there, definitely. And we could go swimming. I like swimming. I love swimming. To the beach. So someone who does like to go places would be lovely. Yeah, it really would be lovely. I'm just going to start dinner. I was one of them. Yes, you were. I saw that video. I want to see that video again. It was awesome, that video. You're one of the big, fatty, sexy person. Oh, of course, and also important is someone who likes weight gain as well. Because if I got with a guy who was just normal, who was say fat, but you know he didn't like being fat, then there would be forever that threat of, you know, them always wanting to lose weight and hating their bodies and not wanting to show their bodies, and maybe even like, I'm not even gonna say it. Stupid thing, come on! I'm gonna beat this thing up in a minute. Oh. Yes, those people were like that. Like I told you about my boyfriend Sam, he was forever threatening to lose weight, especially if we got into an argument and he was upset with me, he would threaten to lose weight just to spite me. Just like remember I told you he threatened to cut his hair because he knew I liked longer hair. He knew I liked his hair longer, so he threatened to cut it when in an argument. So that's why he really wasn't good for me. He just was a pain in the ass. Now, since that thing's been moved, this stupid phone won't stay upright anymore. Oh, crap. I don't know what it's called. It was a soup maker here, and it kept the phone upright over here so it could be stayed upright like here. But now I've noticed it's not staying up since that soup maker's been gone. Even though it's still the same. There we go. I've just put it on against the dog's things. Sorry it's dark, but I have to just put it there because I'm going to be cooking around here. So sorry if it's dark. Right, so the other thing I want to talk about is I can't like the lifestyle properly, but reconnecting, of course. It's always when it's like here or there, it always starts doing this, right? I've got very strong Wi-Fi at the moment, but it still seems to be disconnecting all over the place. I'm sorry my hair looks like hell, it's all flat and rubbish. So sorry about that. It needs washing and cutting and everything. See, I'm very, 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 very low maintained recently. I've not been to the hairdresser for about a year or more. I didn't go to the hairdresser at all last year to have it coloured and cut like I normally do a trim. It's not been trimmed in a whole year. Again, maybe longer. Actually, it was a year on October, because that's when I had my hair done last time. So not last October, the October before 2018 was last time I had my hair cut and coloured and shit. So I've not been maintained very good. I've never had a massage. I'd like to do that. I like to talk it over with my mum first. The reason being is because, again, not like my mum controls my life or anything, not like that. But I talked over with her because sometimes I will go ahead and do something or buy something and she will say, why did you go ahead and do that? Because I was going to surprise you with it. So that's why I have to talk stuff over with my mum before I do anything, because sometimes she was planning on surprising me with something. Like perhaps for my 30th birthday, she's going to surprise me with like a spa day or something. And then I go and have a massage and she's like, although I wouldn't mind sort of having a massage now and then still having a spa day when I'm 30, because it is 2 years away, so I'm hoping that this year's birthday will go to Liverpool, because I'd really like to. And I'm going to dress like this. I think I'm going to dress like this for my... Probably not exactly like this, it'll probably be hot then, but you know, like something like this. I like to dress really over the top. Which brings me to what I was about to say before I decided to do the disconnection thing. So what I was going to say is, I've decided to get into Lolita lifestyle and fashion. Now that's where you... This is black screen. Ah, not again! Bloody hell, I'm showing you my lovely outfit, you can't see it. Damn it. Okay, so if you can hear me, I'm gonna stop it and restart it again, because I have to cook. And I'm going to be concentrating on cooking, but hopefully you can see it this time and see my outfit, because I am showing you my outfit right now and you can't see it, so I'm really annoyed about that. So I'm going to stop and start. So all the links and stuff you need to know are in the description below if I don't start live stream again, but I will. So just stay tuned and shit, okay?